So this year has been interesting for the arts, for music especially, I think. Myself as an artist, I was going to enter into the world of live music and really start gigging and getting my name out there, but obviously a pandemic hit and that couldn't happen. So we thought we would sit down with a couple of venues and industry professionals and talk to them a bit about how the pandemic has affected them and how they think it will affect the future of the music industry.
Me? It's me, guys. No. Alora is a band. It's like, should we like just introduce ourselves? Kind of like, wow. Okay, wait. We're gonna compose ourselves, then we'll do it. Okay.
My name's Pixie Weyand and I'm the owner of live music venue The Zoo in Brisbane.
My name is Johnstone. I'm co-owner of studio with Kate Jean. Basically, we do like photo, graphic design, videography, all based around the music industry.
Void is a band that I'm in. Basically, it was kind of started by our guitarist Kate and Angie, our vocalist. They went to high school together in Rockhampton, and then Kate moved here and met the drummer, Mina, and then I met them like a year later, and yeah, we kind of just started a little band.
So Alora is like a band that, so we started about like last year, started at uni. I'm on lead vocals, rhythm guitar. We have Issy on bass. We have Aidan on drums, and we have a guitarist who's currently away. His name's Blake, and he does lead.
I've been in the live music scene in Brisbane for about 4 years as the owner of The Zoo, but prior to that, as just a music lover and a musician.
Not terribly. I think like everyone else was pretty worried at first, but then I kind of just shifted it. Like I was shooting a lot of live music, but then I just kind of shifted it to doing merchandise and like the occasional little gig poster for like, you know, a gig that was happening far off in the future. Plus I could still do band press shots and stuff, so it didn't really jeopardize it so much as it did kind of just shift it. Their need for visual content in the way that like they always needed to do gigs in order to make money and stuff. So now it was like the only way of making money essentially was to sell merchandise, so that's why I came in and done the merchandise for them.
We had like a whole kind of East Coast tour planned for September, and then obviously that didn't happen. It was like looking like we could go for a long time, and then when everything kind of kicked off with Victoria again, our booker was kind of like, even if you press ahead like the day before, you could just lose so much money.
We were basically immediately shut down late Feb. I think maybe for the first time ever, I kind of didn't actually have a job, so it was in a way a nice time to take a breath and stop and think about what I was doing with my life. But yeah, it was about being flexible and understanding that things aren't the same as what they used to be, and how can we adapt and what can we do to, I guess, change and grow with what's happening.
Definitely a different vibe. I was concerned when I found out everything was going to be seated, but I think Pixie, specifically with the Zoo, did this great thing where it looks like almost like a jazz bar type, so just I think venues are doing a great job to kind of shift their focus. The thing with the Zoo came about in the way that, like, I've been friends with Pixie for a few years now. She really helped me get my first few gigs when I was shooting live music, so they just announced the shows without me really knowing about them. Then I just texted Pixie right away and I was like, I'll shoot every single one of those shows. And she was like, yep, definitely, here's all the assets, then just come in whenever you like, kind of thing.
I think COVID has been terrible for the music scene, purely for one reason, that everyone has to sit down now at gigs, and that just kills the vibe, because the whole vibe of it is like, if everyone's, you know, vibing with your music, then they're going to get up and dance kind of thing. But now if we get up and dance, we get yelled at by security kind of thing. So it's been very harsh in that aspect, because it is, obviously with like some kind of bands, they are meant for like a sit down environment, but a lot of us younger bands are there for party. And when we can't party, then obviously it shows.
Like, it's hard to even perform when no one's dancing, like, because you're lost in the crowd and the crowd just sitting there, like,
and it looks like they're not excited.
Yeah,
and
like,
so
well,
what am I doing?
Yeah, then we feel bad. We're like, are we playing the wrong notes? Are we like, what's happening? Kind of thing. Like, it's a bit of a shock, honestly. It's just kind of hard to perform.
Seeing people sitting opposed to standing up was initially a bit of a shock, and I think it is for the bands when they first see it. But again, it's just one of those things that without doing that, we wouldn't be able to have it. In the beginning, it was hard. It was really hard to get people to sit down. I think when we first opened, it was in that really nice little spot where COVID had died down. People were kind of just like, oh, it's not a thing anymore. There's no COVID. Why do we have to sit? And then Melbourne happened, and everyone kind of the reality set in that it's a big deal and we really need to stay seated. So that in a way helped us get the message across that you've got to do this. So now people kind of a bit more responsive, and I guess it's second nature now. They're getting used to it, but yeah, it's definitely a different experience. But I think some of the feedback from bands is that for the first time in a long time, people are really engaged with the shows. They're literally sitting there watching, and usually, you know, people when they have a few drinks, they might tend to wander, play pool, not be as engaged as they probably could be. So I feel for these shows, people are literally sitting and watching. So the engagement is high.
A big thing though was with the video we did for Bug, which was our latest single. We ended up doing a lyric video, but we had this like big cool idea for like a really hectic music video, and then we couldn't do it because it was in like the midst of lockdown, and yeah, we just like weren't able to kind of all meet up to do it, so that went out the window, which was like really sucky.
Because we released it in COVID, we couldn't have a single launch. We tried to promote it like as much online as well with radio. We got played on radio a couple of times, just added to playlists, but in the live aspect we couldn't perform it. We couldn't get those like viewers, the audiences, like, and people like, I guess people like look at their phone and be like, cool, they have a song out, and then just forget to check it kind of thing.
If this has shown us anything, it's that like anything can happen. So I think it's really taught everyone how to kind of think about things a bit more critically. I think a really important thing just for the next little while is thinking about different revenue streams for musicians, because I think, you know, grants and like JobKeeper obviously is like really great, but when you're not playing shows it can be really hard, because I think literally like the only other revenue stream we really have is merch, and like if we didn't have that we'd be making no money. So I can imagine like especially for upcoming bands that like, you know, places like the merch desk and stuff like might not necessarily be able to take them on.
So at the moment we're just focusing on trying to fill the nights and remain financially viable. But I think we'll definitely have more antisocial shows, and unfortunately while we're sitting at this 100 cap we do need to keep that model, but I can't wait till we can remove the minimum spend and have everyone standing up again.
I'd really like to get like another gallery going soon. There's just a, you know, matter of keeping everything safe. I was like right in the middle of touring when everything happened, so obviously I'd love to get back on tour as soon as I can because I love that. Just like as soon as we can get stuff back to relatively normal, that'd be fantastic.
Our next step as a band is definitely recording this next single, and now that sort of restrictions have released a little bit more, it's like gigging, which was our plan for the start of the year. We wanted to just gig a lot more because we did lots of stuff with like the QT Guild last year, and we didn't do a lot of performances outside of that. And so this year it was a big plan to just sort of get our name out there in the Brisbane music scene, and perform more, because we realised we really enjoy doing that. And so now that COVID is sort of starting to ease off a bit, definitely get into that gigging that we said that we do, and recording that single.
So we just announced a show for November, on November 29th at Black Bear, which is really cool because we haven't played a show, I haven't played a show since like February, and it'll be our first show in Brisbane for all of 2020, which is insane because it's like, you know, pretty much December. But I'm really keen for that. I miss playing like so much, and I haven't done it in so long, so I think it'll be weird, but it'll be like so exciting, and I just hope it doesn't get like too rowdy because there's only like 50 people allowed in there, and like I don't know, but it'll be great. I'm excited.
There are so many other ways that you can support artists, like seeing their shows even though it's sitting down, or buying their merch, streaming their music, and supporting them in any other way that you can.
If you'd like to follow us on Instagram at Alora the Band, and Facebook Alora the Band, and Alora on Spotify.
You can buy on Oztix or via our website. and we hope that we're going to be running them till the end of the year.
You can find us everywhere on social media. So we've got Instagram, it's just Void the Band, and on Facebook, if you just look up Void, we're on there. We've got Spotify, so yeah, if you look up Void, again, we should be on there.
If you want to check out my work, I'm at a_w.johnstone on Instagram. That's probably the best place to find me. It's where I'm most active.
You can support more emerging artists like myself by supporting and following Vermilion Records, which is a student-run record label through QUT. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, or look up our website.